Hello! In this video I present several real-time Java Virtual Machine JVM monitoring tools that can assist with sizing the JVM heap for long-running applications. I'm starting the sample Hello Live View. StreamBase is a middleware platform for processing data in motion before normal storage, such as writing to a database. StreamBase and Live Datamart are resilient to changing incoming message rates. They rely on queuing in physical memory to accept data at burst rates that exceed processing capacity. Provisioning a StreamBase server with sufficient CPU capacity and memory space requires measurement. Oracle Java SE installed with StreamBase includes several monitoring tools that expose JVM performance. Use these before deploying to production to guide and validate setting the Java heap memory limit for production deployment. They answer the question, have we allocated enough heap memory and CPU for a normal business session? A business session may be a day, a week, or several months between restarts. What we want to ensure is that a JVM instance will continue to run normally for that period. The JVM heap size setting is XMX in the JVM arg section of the server configuration. This is the setting in StreamBase 10. There's an equivalent setting in StreamBase 7's spd.sbconf file. This sample project runs fine in under 1 GB of RAM. A typical enterprise application may take tens to hundreds of gigabytes. I determined this smaller size by using these monitoring tools. Let's open LiveView Web. Java SE includes the monitoring tools JVisualVM, JConsole, and Java Mission Control. They rely on JMX to communicate with the JVM. Let's start with JVisualVM. It discovered several Java processes. Which one of the Java processes do we want to connect to? Search the console for listening, which reports the process ID of the server. Pick the same process in the list. The Overview tab shows the active JVM arguments. Click on the Monitor tab to see CPU, memory, class, and thread statistics. Using the G1 garbage collector, frequent garbage collections occur. The Heap tab shows the expected sawtooth pattern of allocation and collection. When the pattern has a regular periodicity within horizontal limits, we can be fairly sure this JVM will run indefinitely. If the lower limit is continuously climbing, then it will eventually put pressure on the upper limit, force high CPU use for garbage collection, and cause eventual memory exhaustion. You can force a heap dump from the Monitor tab, which is useful if the JVM hangs and you want to investigate a deadlock or blocked external connection. The thread stacks can be very useful to TIBCO support and engineering for diagnosis, but are less useful for a customer since there isn't a strong naming relationship between the generated classes and the event flow and LiveView table sources. Right-click the dump to save it to a file. I've added the Visual GC plugin using the menu Tools Plugins. This becomes its own tab in the report. It provides detailed garbage collection performance numbers. We're looking at a healthy application with no issues at this data throughput rate. If the input rate were to increase, or other processes used more CPU, or more client applications connected, or external systems started lagging, then we'd see memory use increase due to queuing, and the garbage collector would become much more active. This is why during testing, the test should involve some stressful scenarios so that sufficient memory and problem signals are discovered early. Now let's look at JConsole. When choosing the same JVM in JConsole, we get this security prompt. Choose Insecure Connection. Since we are connecting from localhost, as the user that started the JVM, there is no username and password used. The overview is very similar to what we've seen in JVisualVM. The Memory tab adds a graph for non-heap memory in addition to the memory allowed by the XMX maximum heap JVM argument. The Threads tab shows snapshot stack traces similar to what you would see in a heap dump. It also offers a detect deadlock diagnostic. JConsole also provides an MBeans tab which allows direct inspection and control of some server properties. These are documented in the StreamBase help documentation in the administration guide under Useful JConsole Features. Let's look at the Oracle Java Mission Control application. JMC is a more lightweight monitoring tool but adds optional flight recording of server statistics. This capability is normally off because it adds additional processing load. The overview shows recent CPU and heap memory activity, some with gauges of current and maximum values for telling at a glance current state. The MBean tab shows the same settings and controls we saw earlier in JConsole. The Triggers tab sets monitoring alerts, which are useful if you have thoroughly measured your application behavior and know what conditions are troublesome. The System tab shows mostly static server properties. The Memory tab shows aggregate garbage collection, heap, and non-heap values. The Threads view shows what we saw in JVM. The Diagnostic Commands tab has a collection of additional query actions one can perform on the JVM. In all tools, pay attention to the CPU use and the frequency and depth of garbage collection. Continuously growing memory can mean there's too little CPU for the work, not too little memory. When the memory graph has horizontal peaks and valleys, ensure two things. First, make sure there is sufficient additional CPU for those times when data rates increase above normal during the business day to minimize additional queuing. Second, make sure garbage collection is frequent, brief, and effective, and increase the heap size if garbage collection starts taking too much CPU time. In summary, Oracle Java SE comes with a number of real-time monitoring tools with overlapping capabilities. Use them during testing to determine acceptable heap memory settings. When testing, place high demands on your application so the server configuration is set to handle these events effectively. Thank you for watching this presentation. Please leave any suggestions or comments here or visit our community site. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.